All right, so today we're going to talk briefly about magazine changes with a Glock, or Glock similar pistols. This here, Glock 17 Gen 5, right? Very, very common gun. A lot of people modify their Glocks, but for those of us who don't modify them and we're running the original magazine release right here instead of one of the aftermarket ones that sticks out much further, when I'm coaching people on the range time and time again, I see issues with people working this magazine release. If you have smaller hands, so even me, right, when I go to reach this with my right hand, you can see my thumb just barely reaches it. So again, aftermarket wise, people put a bigger magazine release on here. So here's something for people with small hands, a weaker grip, or just a different style grip that doesn't allow them to actually reach this effectively for a quick magazine drop. Okay, so what we can do here, and obviously if you guys have been following me, I'm left-handed, so when I switch to righty, again, this is another issue for me just to try to reach it. So here we have a weighted bottom magazine, which is much nicer for gravity to pull the magazine out of the handle. But for here, what we're looking at is this. Instead of me trying to push the button in, okay, what I'm going to do here, and this is our little pro tip, is I make my thumb rigid. Okay, I'm going to hold this position with my thumb. My support hand, right, is then going to come from here. So when I would come into my high ready position, right, which my magazine is, the handle and the angle of my magazine is still pointed down. We don't want you guys taking the gun and pointing it sideways to the person next to you, okay? It's a very small turn, and the barrel comes slightly up. The grip and the magazine direction is still down, gravity fed, okay? So what I'm going to do here is my thumb becomes rigid. I'm going to use my support hand, keeping a blade grip, right? I'm going to turn my left hand up, putting my pointer finger into the trigger guard, okay? In this, I keep my thumb rigid. I'm actually pulling the Glock into, right, my thumb, which is depressing the magazine release. So again, let me throw another magazine in here. Let's do a standard, right, without the weight on it. So again, instead of me reaching for this, bang, 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 and I pull the gun into the thumb, which is depressing the magazine release. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so again, I'm here, I'm pulling like this to drop it. Okay, very simple. This hand is coming here, pulling that. Now again, on a safety note, just one more time to reiterate this does not look like this. Okay, so cameraman, come right over here. Okay, obviously it's empty, but just for safety purposes, I'm not doing this and pointing the gun to the people next to me. It's here, this hand's coming up, and it's right there. This angle is still good for gravity to drop. The cameraman can come around. I'm not sweeping him. I'm not sweeping anyone else on the range. This is a safe angle and allows me to drop that. So give that a shot. This is very good for again, people with a weaker grip, smaller hands, right, that just have a hard time manipulating that magazine release. I've found that this works very well. Give it a shot. Let us know what you think.